So this is Tea Time with Tymmy, and I got my friend Jenni with me today. We're going to be talking about mental health. Me and Jenni went to college together, and she went ahead and took it a little bit further than me. I'm going to let her introduce herself to you all.
So I go to IUK. I'm getting my master's degree in mental health counseling. So I'm going to get licensed to become a counselor.
So that's why I felt like it was very important to have Jennifer on this Tea Talk today, because she is way more informed than I am, and she makes this a little bit more valid, you know? I'm going to ask Jennifer a couple of questions, and she can give you some answers. So I'm like, so what are, I have these questions ready, like, been waiting to ask this.
For real.
What are the most common mental illnesses that they see in?
So I work at a mental health, like community mental health facility at Fort County, and there we just kind of like learned about the common like mental health disparities that we see like in teens and such. And a big common, like the 4 common ones that we see are depressive disorders, anxiety disorders, eating disorders, and schizophrenia, and dementia. So we see like a lot of anxiety disorders though, and depressive ones.
And what are the symptoms of depression?
So there's like, you have to have at least like 5 or 2 of like 5. Usually you see a lot of weight gain or weight loss. You wouldn't think that there's like weight gain, but sometimes we're just like depressed and like you just want to eat, or there's weight loss where like you're just in bed all day and like you don't want to eat, like you don't have an appetite, or like you forget to eat sometimes. In men, you see a lot of like anger. A lot of men express depression as like an anger way, like in an angry way, I mean. So they don't really try and like cry or express sadness. There's more of just like being kind of uptight, irritable. A lot of people are irritable. You can't sleep, or you sleep too much. So it kind of depends. Like, it's not everyone's gonna have the same thing. Maybe I want to sleep all day, and maybe some people can't even sleep at night, and that's just like part of their depression. You feel me? Feelings of like worthlessness. That's a big part of it. Crying a lot, just feelings of sadness, but even just like muscle tension too.
Really?
Muscle tension can be part of your depression. Like pain, you can feel pain.
There was a question I was about to ask. I just like had a brain fart. I think it had to do with the symptoms. Oh, also like thoughts of suicide. But what I wanted to like ask you, because I mean we already talked about it, but like you said, thoughts of suicide are common.
Yeah, I feel like it's actually pretty common. Everyone has had a thought of suicide. Like maybe you think that you haven't, or maybe like, but maybe you have like really depressive thoughts. Like maybe you haven't gotten that far, but you wouldn't realize how common it is. I feel like everyone has had a thought of like suicide, like even just like considering it for like a split second.
It's just a thought.
Just a thought, yeah. And like we wouldn't take it too far if we like learned about it in like a session, like in a counseling session, unless someone had like plans or intent to cause themselves harm.
Right.
Then we would take that like more into consideration seriously. But everyone has had a thought of suicide. It's really common.
And I remember asking you, like, even though everybody has thoughts of suicide, when should you know to get help? Like, when is it not common anymore? You know, when is this abnormal?
That's when we start talking about, like, when we're in counseling sessions. If you tell me that you have a plan and access to that plan, that's when you should really call for like help. So, for example, if a girl had previously tried to like harm herself and like kill herself, And let's say she says like, oh, I have a razor, and she has access to a razor at home, then we take that like a little bit more seriously. And if you're like feeling like you're having those thoughts every day, and like they're kind of amplified, like to where like you hear those thoughts a little bit louder than like usual, then like maybe like reach out a little bit and see what's going on.
Also, I wanted to mention the importance of a safety plan and what a safety plan is.
So like a safety plan can be whatever you really want it to be yourself. It's like you can personalize it, but really what we do at Ford County is we write down what kind of like triggers us to have suicidal thoughts or have really depressive thoughts. So if it's like certain music that you hear, certain things that you see, that you smell, you write that down. If it's like arguing, different stuff triggers different people. And then you write down names of people that you can call if you're having suicidal thoughts, if you're really depressed, and like different things that you can do to distract yourself. So like coping skills, like what different coping skills you can use if you're like having really anxious moods or if you're really depressed.
What are some popular coping mechanisms for depression that you know of?
It all really depends on like what works for you. Like I said, like so if you're an active person, exercising can help, doing yoga. One thing that really helps is like getting in touch with like our body. There's this type of therapy. It's called what is it called? There's CBT. It's cognitive behavioral therapy, where you kind of use just like touch and feelings and like your mind to help with like depression. So focusing on your muscles, flexing your muscles, working your muscles, that actually helps your brain produce serotonin, which is like a natural hormone that is like a happy hormone, and like that helps your body ease itself, relax itself, and like gets you in touch with your body. That's really important. Exercise, yoga, journaling, doing a hobby, anything that like really brings you joy or like that you find pleasure in.
So like hand in hand with the safety plan, another thing that you could write down like in your safety plan could be like things that make you happy.
Yeah. Whatever it is that you want, right? It can be art, it can be doodles, literally anything. It's just something to help you like distract yourself and like get like write about your day, write about yourself, how you felt. That's important.
Do you feel like we are born with mental illnesses, or maybe should I say with, I don't know if I should say mental illnesses or just depression, anxiety, and like eating disorders? I don't know. I feel like those are more things that are conditioned.
Well, no. So you can actually be born with like genetic, like predispositioned genetics, which is like people have bipolar disorder, and so their kids might have bipolar disorder because it's just in their genetics. That doesn't mean that it'll happen, but if like during their life certain things trigger it, or if, and I don't mean like trigger like it'll just happen right away, but just like genetic dispositions or events in your life, like the environment does matter, then it can happen. If you are the offspring of like two parents with depression, you might be a little bit more at risk, or just like set up that way.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that you'll develop it. It just kind of
You
happens.
have more of a possibility of it happening to you because of your genetics.
Yeah. So, and alcoholism is actually a really big one. If you are like, if your parents were, and grandparents, and like aunts and uncles, then like that's actually a really big risk.
My last question that I wanted to ask was, okay, so usually the typical, and I don't really want to call it an excuse because it's still an excuse, but it's a good one, for not getting help for your mental health is the expense, the cost.
Yeah.
So what are some ways that people can get help that is not an arm and a leg?
That's a really good question because that is totally true. A lot of healthcare and like political policy, like in Medicare, there's like managed care is what it's called, where you only get certain amount of visits and like sessions depending on your insurance, and that's like maybe once a month. That's not enough. Or even less than that, to be honest. So you can go to like maybe like apps. You can use apps. There's like a thing called Wobot, WOEBOT. It's kind of like counseling online, like through your phone, and that's free. You can go to like community mental health facilities, kind of like for county. And they try to work with like your budget, or just trying to use your own coping skills. As shitty as that sounds, that's our healthcare system.
Right.
It sucks ass.
But also, I'm not saying some people do need to get further help, but getting help really does start with you. Like, with like facing depression, it was like I can pray all day long, but if I don't get out this bed and go actually exercise and try or read or write or try to actually help myself, I cannot accept. God likes to see you help. People like to see you trying to help yourself before you ask for help.
Well, not even just people like seeing it, but it's actually better for your own body. It's better for your body to be moving, to be getting up. We have patterns. If we're depressed, we have patterns of just wanting to stay in bed. So you have to break that pattern and get the fuck out of bed. Like, just get out of bed. And it I know it's not easy, but at least you're breaking that cycle.
Right.
Because if you stay in bed, it's just going to worsen your depression. So you have to really fight it. It's something that...
Literally. It's like fighting a demon.
For real. Yeah. So...
What was the other one? There was like prom. What was it? It's in the notes. Hold on. Oh, pro bono.
Yeah. So another thing that you can do. Were you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So another thing that you can do is you can ask for pro bono. Pro bono is kind of like a lot of like attorneys, therapists have to do like a certain amount of work and practice for like low budget or for free. It just kind of helps their credentials and like their degree.
Sorry. I was over here choking, literally trying to like not interrupt the video, but I was like,
we were gonna see you guys for prayer.
Over here going like this.
I'm over here trying to explain, and then you'll see you like,
look, I'm good.
I love it.
Okay. Back to what is pro bono?
So pro bono is basically it's just like therapists, attorneys, certain practices have to do a certain amount of work or hours for free or for like a low budget. You can even do like bartering, which is trade. So just for like free, because it just helps their credentials with their degree, with their continuous education. So you can ask if like they would work with you that way, and then maybe you might be able to get something for cheap or for like trade.
Okay. This was a lot of really helpful information, I feel like.
Okay.
Truly was. So this will wrap up Tea Time with Tymmy and Jenni. I hope that you enjoyed this one. I'm sure you did. So you can like and subscribe.
For real. Yes.
If you have any more questions on mental health or mental illness, just drop them below, because we are going to be coming at you with another one. This is, what do they call it? A series. Tea time. And more
we have
good
hella
stuff.
tea bags.
Okay.
So.
What kind of tea did you get?
I got the caramel.
Caramel? I think I got the, what was it? Orange black tea? Something
Black
like
tea
that?
and orange. Yes.
Delightful. Thanks for tuning in.